When we think about masculine and feminine energy, we often think about how it impacts our relationships, but there's so much more to it. This energy can influence our work, our well being, and even our manifestation. In this video, I'll break down the key differences between masculine and feminine energy across 11 areas of our lives, including relationships. So by the end of it, you have a better understanding of what these energy are and how you can use them to improve your life. Number one, work and career. So one of the biggest misconceptions people have about masculine and feminine energy is that they link it to gender. People usually think that men are more masculine and women are more feminine, but that's not always true. We all have both kinds of energy, and it shows up depending on what we are working on. The masculine energy shows up when we need to focus on our tasks, think logically, and work with facts. It's all about being structured and organized. It's very goal oriented. Think of tasks like coding, data analysis, or business planning. The energy is linear, like how do you get from point A to point B? It's about following a step by step plan to reach a goal. Feminine energy, on the other hand, might not seem like work in the conventional sense, but it contributes massively. It's this creative and inspiring energy. It opens us up to new ideas and perspectives. Without it, we might get stuck in this old routine that are no longer effective. The feminine energy brings life and growth to work. It's all about movement, while masculine energy provides the stability and gets things done. Both are super important. Without the feminine energy, things can feel a little bit stagnant. Take my old accounting job, for example. It was very much a masculine task, very logical and systematic. But for me, I lean more towards the feminine energy. I'm like about 60% feminine, like 40% masculine. So I'm in touch with the creative energy of the feminine. And I kept asking what if we didn't have to enter the same data over and over again? Why not use technology to upload the accounting entries instead? And this allowed me to find new ways to make my work more efficient and easier for everyone too. You want a mix of both energies in your work. Without the masculine energy, there's no structure and goals don't get achieved. Without the feminine energy, work feels rather dull and uninspiring. So now let's dive into the category that most people are interested in: romantic relationship and dating. Both types of energy are super attractive, but they attract people in different ways. As I'm explaining these two types of energy, I want you to feel the energy, not just define it by their traits like masculine is focused and feminine is fluid. Feeling the energy will actually help you to understand the two energies better, not just from a mental perspective, but also from a visual perspective. So now, have you ever noticed someone who walks in with confidence and swag, or when someone is working at a job or working out in the gym and they are so focused and committed, and you feel like, wow, that's super attractive? That's masculine energy. Masculine energy exudes a sense of calmness, confidence, and stability. And that can be really captivating, especially to those with dominant feminine energy who might easily feel overwhelmed and affected by things around them. The stable masculine vibe provides reassurance and a sense of security for the feminine polarity. In contrast, have you ever seen someone who's vibrant, smiling, kind, compassionate, fun, and playful? That's the feminine energy. When we are in our feminine energy, our movements are so fluid and unpredictable. We are just being ourselves and we draw people in, especially those with dominant masculine energy. The feminine energy brings a softness that complements the more stoic masculine vibe. It melts the masculine energy. It adds life and meaning to the masculine energy, like a breath of fresh air. That's the difference between the two. The masculine energy is also the more active one in relationships. When we are in our masculine energy, we take the lead, we initiate contact, we chase our potential mate and take action. The feminine energy, on the other hand, is more passive. We just sit there and be beautiful and attract potential suitors. I'm not saying that the feminine energy doesn't initiate and has to wait for things to happen. It can still initiate contact, but when it initiate contact, it's more about connecting and starting conversation. It's just being curious about the other person without any specific purpose. The masculine energy, on the other hand, is the one that advances the relationship to the next level, like from dating to an intimate relationship. The action initiated is very purposeful. We have both energy within us, and in relationship, people often switch between this energy without realizing it. For example, if you are in the feminine energy and you attract someone dominant in their masculine energy, that's great. But as the relationship progresses and you realize the other person is avoidant or emotionally unavailable, you may start to feel insecure and you may push for more contact and connection. Notice the word here, push, is a very purposeful action to get attention and security from your partner. That's the masculine energy. Doing so, you unknowingly switch from your feminine energy to your masculine energy, and you became the initiator, you became the chaser. And this only drives the avoidant person further away. The feminine energy is all about trust and surrender. You don't force the other person to reply to you or connect more. You just relax, be beautiful, and attract. You allow the masculine energy to decide whether they want to approach you or not, because that's what the masculine does. It's crucial to be aware of which energy you are in at any moment to avoid relationship problems or conflict like this. The third thing I want to discuss is one of the most important aspects of masculine and feminine energy, but sadly, it's something that people often neglect, which is our emotional well being. When we think about emotion, we usually link them to the feminine energy, but masculine energy is crucial too. Think of the masculine energy as the container that holds and grounds your emotions. Without this container, feminine energy can get a bit chaotic, reactive, and even destructive. You might constantly feel overwhelmed, drained, and tired. The masculine energy is like having someone who holds you and supports you. It's like getting a comfortable hug when you're upset or overwhelmed. The masculine energy stays calm and doesn't react to emotions, creating a safe space for the feminine energy to express their feeling. However, here's the thing. If your masculine energy is strong, but you're not in touch with your feminine side, you might feel emotionally flat or detached. You might suppress your emotions without realizing it. Not recognizing your emotions can leave you feeling lifeless, stuck, and down because the emotion aren't moving. Feminine energy is all about life. It's the flow and expression of emotions. It helps to process and release emotion from your body, which is actually a very positive thing. Think about this. Your blood flows, your heart beats, everything that's alive moves. Your emotion needs to move too. No matter if you're a man or a woman, balancing both energy is key for your emotional health. Now let's dive into leadership and social dynamics. In a group setting, you often see that the masculine energy tends to take the lead. On the flip side, the feminine energy plays a more supportive and nurturing role. Traditionally, leadership has been linked to masculinity, with the masculine leading and the feminine following. But that's old school thinking. Feminine energy, though it might not seem as strong and powerful, has its own leadership style. While masculine energy leads from the front, feminine energy leads on the ground by connecting with people and understanding their needs and challenges. The best leader has a good balance of both the masculine energy and the feminine energy. They tap into their masculine energy when direct communication is key, a quick decision is needed, or when setting clear goals and expectations. It brings structure, define roles and responsibilities, and focus on the results. Feminine energy is like the glue holding the group together. When leaders tap into the feminine energy, they build relationships, create a positive environment, and empathize with others. If you fail to embrace your feminine energy, neglect to listen and consider others, and instead insist on imposing your own will, you'll find that no one will actually follow your lead. So it's important to balance both the masculine and the feminine energy when it comes to leadership. Also, a balanced leader knows when to step back and let others shine. It's not about being dominant all the time. Too many leaders can create conflicts. If you know that someone else is more skilled than you in a certain area, you let them take the lead instead. Recognizing when to lean into your feminine energy actually shows strength and trust. It's more powerful than a leader who only utilizes their masculine energy. However, when everyone seems like passive, there's no clear direction, the project is not going anywhere, a balanced leader will tap into their masculine energy and step up and take the lead. When you balance this energy, you will know when to lead and when to support. Number five is parenting. Even if you are not an actual parent, we all have an inner child to care for. So this topic is relevant to everyone. So let's start with the masculine energy. Think of it as a daddy energy, protective and strong. It looks out for the family, keeping everyone safe and sound. It's about setting boundaries to guard your inner child and protect yourself. It exerts and stand up for the child. It leads the way and make decisions for the family or your inner child's well-being. This energy provides structure and discipline. On the flip side, we have the feminine energy. Imagine it as the mommy energy, the nurturing and comforting energy. It's the energy that steps in to soothe and encourage your child or your inner child when they're feeling down. It empathizes and shows compassion to the child. A healthy family has both the daddy and mommy energy. If you want a healthy inner child, you have to balance both your masculine and feminine energy within yourself too. I dive deeper into reparenting your inner child using both the masculine and feminine energy in my book, Parent Yourself Again. If you're interested and curious, you can check it out. Now let's chat about physical health and exercises. The masculine energy has a quality of striving and achieving. Think about competitive sports. It's all about winning or pushing yourself to the next level. When you are at the gym lifting weights, aiming for the next big target, that's masculine energy at play. Or when you're doing like HIIT, like high intensity interval training, which I don't do, it is another great example where you are driven by purpose and goals. Using a masculine energy in exercise is all about strength, power, and focus. Now, the feminine energy is more fluid and flowing. Imagine dancing. It's all about moving with the music. Sure, some dance routine can be very powerful, but more often than not, it's just about going with the flow of the music. You cannot be too rigid with your body. Exercises like Tai Chi and yoga also display the feminine energy too. They're all about balance and flexibility with gentle movement that brings peace and harmony. While feminine energy is inward focused, tuning into your inner flow, masculine energy is outward focused, pushing towards your goals. It's like the sun pushing energy out, while the moon is the feminine energy just receiving and reflecting the light. When it comes to physical health, being too much in your masculine energy can actually stress you out because you're too laser focused on the metrics like your weight or blood pressure. Obsessing over these numbers or trying to reach the target can cause you to worry about every little thing, like from what you eat to what exercise you do. If you are more in tune with your feminine energy, you will listen to your body more and eat based on your intuition. You will choose food that you feel resonate with and nourish your body. For more insight on this, you can check out my book, Love Your Body. Number 7, spiritual practice. Masculine energy is about doing, while feminine energy is about being. When I look at a variety of spiritual practices out there, it's actually interesting to see how people gravitate towards what resonate with their dominant energy. Those leaning into their masculine energy often prefer something that is more structured or like active practices, whereas those with a feminine energy tends to go for practices that emphasize more on intuition and flow. Example of spiritual practices that are more masculine in nature, you can think of practices like breath work, where you have to breathe a certain way, hold your breath for a certain count, and really focus on your breath. It's a very disciplined, structured approach. Rituals and ceremonies fall into this category too. They are very organized and systematic. Even manifestation leans more towards the masculine because it's about setting goals and using techniques to achieve them, like writing affirmations. Example of spiritual practices that are more feminine in nature are more about intuition and developing your psychic abilities. They aren't any hard and fast rule. It's about going with the flow and your connection with the spiritual world. Dream interpretation and tarot card reading fits in here too, as they involve exploring symbols and personal growth. These symbols are open for interpretation. There's no one fixed way of interpreting them. Feminine energy is about receiving message from the universe and staying open to what comes through. Masculine energy is like being a manifester, turning thoughts into reality, while feminine energy is about channeling, receiving inspiration and insights. Masculine focused practices require focus and grounding, while feminine ones encourages relaxation and surrender. And it's not always about the practice, it's about how you engage with them. Like meditation can be both masculine and feminine. I remember I was meditating with a friend once, and he had this intense, focused look on his face. And I just laughed at us, like, why are you so serious about meditating? It was like he was gearing up for a fight or practicing martial arts. He was actually practicing a more active meditation and was really focusing and concentrating. Meanwhile, I was practicing a more surrender style kind of meditation. I was just letting go and receiving insights. So now I got a feel for what masculine and feminine energy is like. I'm going to speed things up a bit for the rest of the categories. Number 8, finances and abundance. When you're in tune with your masculine energy, you're all about financial planning. You got a system to keep track of where your money is heading. You set clear financial goals, aiming for a specific amount. If you neglect your masculine energy, your finances might be all over the place. When you are in tune with your feminine energy, you go with a gut feeling. You might not have a clear plan for making money. Your intuition might nudge you to buy a lottery ticket, take on, take on a certain job, or make a purchase, and you'll find yourself rewarded with abundance. It's all about going with the flow. Manifesting abundance using the feminine energy is more about allowing things to come to you. You just focus on keeping a positive vibe, letting things come to you naturally. So, if the masculine energy is about deliberate action, everything planned out with intention, then the feminine energy leans more towards the inspired action, acting based on inspiration. Number 9, travel. When you're tapping into your masculine energy, your trip is planned in a super systematic and linear manner. It's like, I'll visit A, B, and C. In the morning, I'll do this. In the afternoon, I'll do that. You got a very clear path, and you're ticking off that checklist as you go. Feminine energy, on the flip side, doesn't stick to a set path or purpose. Maybe you have an area in mind, but you're not sure what you'll do or eat. You just want to go there and explore the area. People who are more in tune with their feminine energy also tend to accommodate the needs of others and go along with the group. Depending on how balanced you are with your masculine and feminine energy, you might actually tap into both. For example, I'm a full-on masculine mode before a trip. I plan everything, I map out places I want to visit, schedules, and transport. But once I'm actually traveling, I just allow myself to be in the feminine energy. I don't always stick to a plan. I just explore and let my intuition guide me. If I don't follow my plan, then no big deal. I just go with the flow and see what the day brings me. In terms of places, cities are more masculine. It's all about structure and efficiency. Nature feels more feminine, offering peace and living in the moment. For my trips, I like to mix both the city and nature for a more balanced experience. Number 10, learning and intellectual. Just like with travel and finances, when it comes to learning, the masculine approach is more planned and intentional. Like I'm watching a YouTube video because I want to learn something specific, such as astrology, or figure out what to do after a spiritual awakening. The feminine approach is more about going with the flow and exploring. Maybe I get on YouTube without a specific topic in mind, and I just see which video I resonate with. And if I get a vibe for a video, my gut says to watch it, then I watch it. I don't have a set plan. I'm just looking for something that resonates with me. It's the same like going to a library with a specific book in mind or researching a specific topic. That's masculine energy. On the other hand, if you're just browsing around to see what catches your eyes or just being there and exploring, that's feminine energy. Number 11, finding purpose. We usually link purpose to masculine energy because of the drive it possesses. But feminine energy is actually important too because it's the inspiration. It's the one that gives meaning to life and spark creation. The masculine energy then take the inspiration and make it into reality, setting the direction and taking action to reach it. Without the feminine energy, life can feel rather empty and meaningless. You keep pushing towards your goals, but they don't seem inspiring at all. At this point, you might be thinking, hey, I'm more masculine at work, but I'm more feminine in a relationship. And when I travel, I'm a mix of both. Exactly. We often lean more towards one way than the other, depending on the situation. It's all about context. Neither is more spiritual or better than the other. In the spiritual community, there's this idea of being is better than doing, but sometimes you need that masculine energy, that drive too. Check out this video to see how spiritual awakening has got me doing more.